Do you know what your pets are thinking? Of course, observing their habits, you can easily determine whether they are healthy, what kind of mood they are in, cheerful or sad, if they want to play or if they want to sleep. All these things are external signs, but it is almost impossible to determine what is in their heads, what thoughts they have. After all, animals do not know how to talk about their fears or desires, about worries or dreams. You can only guess what your pet is going through at the moment. Of course, if your four-legged friend has lived with you for many years, then you can very easily determine what he wants at that moment and give them what they want in full. But things get complicated when it comes to shelter dogs. Many of them have had difficult lives. What they managed to endure in their past, one can only imagine, and very often people deciding to take a dog from a shelter do not know how they will behave in a new house, or how to react to their behavior, what to expect from them in case of an unforeseen situation. Only one thing is certain: shelter dogs need more care and attention in order for the dog to rehabilitate faster and enter a new rhythm of life. Dogs from a shelter, if they have not completely lost faith in people, usually show greater affection, try to be closer and more loyal so as not to lose their new family. Therefore, the next time you consider adopting a dog, visit your local shelter. Maybe it is there that your new fluffy companion is waiting for you. So a young family, Mike and Kelly, having decided to adopt a four-legged friend, went to a dog shelter to choose a pet. They looked at many dogs, but their choice unanimously fell on a small mutt, which showed them great signs of attention. Without a moment's hesitation, they took him and brought him to their home. The dog's name was Jackie. He was a very affectionate and devoted friend. He very quickly adapted to his new home, and the couple doted on their new pet. He was an ordinary dog who loved playing ball, eating all sorts of delicacies, and bringing slippers to his owners. But he still had one oddity, which the couple did not notice at first, but over time it started to bother them. The thing is, Jackie refused to sleep at night. As soon as the young couple went to bed, the dog occupied his post at the door and stared at them all night until they fell asleep, and in the morning, barely opening their eyes, they already could feel his gaze on them. At first, Mike and Kelly thought that the dog was simply scared in the new house and did not give much importance to this fact, but later they began to suspect that the dog might not sleep all night. To see what happens at night, Mike set up a hidden camera opposite the entrance to the bedroom so that they could see the place where Jackie usually settled for the night. What the young people saw in the morning just amazed them. It turned out that the dog was standing all night near their door and did not close his eyes even for a moment, staring at their bed. Sometimes the desire to sleep came and Jackie fell into oblivion, but only for a few moments, after which he abruptly jumped up as if frightened and continued staring at his owners. This fact worried the young couple very much. It turned out that their new friend was tormented by insomnia. With this problem, they took the dog to the vet. They told him about everything they saw on the camera and asked him to conduct a comprehensive examination. But the veterinarian, after carrying out all the necessary procedures, assured the couple that Jackie was an absolutely healthy dog, but the insomnia could be caused by events from the dog's past life. Then Mike and Kelly decided to return to the shelter and find out more information about their pet's past. What they learned made them shudder. It turned out that before, Jackie lived with another young family who took care of him and treated him very well, until the girl got pregnant. When she was pregnant, she could no longer properly care for the dog. Her husband now worked much more and was rarely at home. In addition, they were worried about how the dog would perceive the arrival of a new family member. Unfortunately, there was just no place for Jackie in their new circumstances, and they decided to get rid of him. They decided to take him to a shelter for homeless animals. One night, when the dog was asleep, they carefully took him, put him in a wooden box of a suitable size, quietly closed him in, and took him to the shelter. One can only imagine what horror the animal experienced when he woke up in a wooden box in a new place without his family nearby. For a very long time, the dog did not make contact with the shelter workers. He refused to eat, and he kept looking at the door, shuddering every time it opened. He kept waiting for his owners to come and take him away, but no one came to take him. Gradually, the dog began to get used to the new conditions, began to communicate a little with the workers of the shelter, and when Mike and Kelly came to choose a dog for themselves, apparently he remembered his former owners and, finding a slight similarity in them, happily ran to meet them. Hearing this story, the couple had tears in their eyes. Poor Jackie! He was so afraid of repeating such a situation. He thought that if he fell asleep again at night, they would also put him in a wooden box and take him away. The dog was so worried and did not want to be in this situation again that he decided to simply not sleep at night so that he would not be taken out of the house again. Having learned the true cause of Jackie's sleepless nights, the couple decided to give him even more attention, giving him their care and affection. To make sure the dog was not sent anywhere else, the young couple allowed him to sleep on their bed with them. Jackie really cheered up and after a while began to fall asleep near his owners, feeling their warmth. At first, he jumped up every hour, sniffed Kelly's hands, and looked at Mike with hope as if not believing that everything was in order and he was in a reliable, loving family. But every night, Jackie slept harder and harder, waking up less and less at night. Gradually, he finally calmed down and slept all night, completely trusting his new owners. Here is a story that happened in one family who was not afraid to take responsibility for a dog from a shelter. They were not afraid of the difficulties that awaited them, taking the dog with a difficult past. Together they went through all the difficulties and returned to Jackie faith in people and confidence that he was important in their life. In these people, Jackie found a real, sincerely loving family, and in return gave them all his love and devotion, which is worth a lot. If you enjoyed the story of this wonderful family and what they did for their dog, please like the video and also share in the comments what you think about it. Would you take a dog from a shelter, or do you have similar stories?